Alright, so this is going to be a quick video showing how to open up and disassemble this ASUS TUF model FX507. Alright, this full model number is FX507ZI-F15.I74070. I don't know the actual name. Usually they'll put some other kind of name instead of all these numbers, but we'll go ahead and open it up and take a look inside. I hear something loose inside, that's why we're opening this. But other than that, it doesn't really need to be taken apart. So we're going to remove the screws, and then I'm just going to show quickly the components in here. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths, and I can already see they are. The way I do that is I put the screws flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern, and I remove them. So far these two are longer than the outer corner screws. Alright, we'll see if any other ones are different. Okay. So again, keep them in order because if you put the wrong screws in the wrong place, you can damage the computer, okay? Let's go ahead and get all these screws out. Okay. So far, the other screws are looking to be about the same size. Sometimes on these models, one of the corner screws stays attached to the case. Let's see if that's the case with this one. Okay, I think this corner screw is shorter than all the rest, so probably this one is as well. Alright, and it looks like this one stays attached. Okay, so we're going to use that to help pop open the bottom cover. So as you unscrew it, you can see how it's pulling the cover up. You can use pry tools. I just use my fingernails to get in there. Okay, but basically this will cause a gap to form, and then you kind of just slide a pry tool along here, usually. Let's see if it will come out. Did I do it all the way? Okay. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear that. There's something loose in there. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to get my fingernails in the gap here, and I'm going to push with my thumbs on the back. Let's see if that pops it. Okay, that looks like it worked. We're going to continue working our way over. I don't know if you can see, but hopefully. All right, you see how it popped more of that out. So we're just going to continue working our way down the entire side or front of the laptop. Let's see if we can pop it there, or if it will be easier from the palm rest area. I don't know. Okay, oh, that's working. So just continue working our way down. The weird thing with this is they kind of have the cover going up, down, so it's kind of not a flat surface. You can see it makes it a little tricky to pop this open, and something is here that's preventing me from popping it out. Let's actually try from the palm rest and see if that's easier. So we'll go from here and see if we can pull it from this side. You want to be careful not to press on the the touchpad itself, and nope, that's actually not working. So, oh shoot, we need to be careful. These hinges, I think the hinge screws might be what's falling out from inside here. Okay, this is popping up, so let's go ahead and go from this side. Okay, that seems easier. Now we're pulling this, same thing. And again, you can use pry tools. I just use my fingernails because it's what I always have on hand, and they work well. Alright, so that's out. Bring it over here. Yep, I hear the screw or something loose rolling around in there. Okay, there we go. You can see it's a little tricky to get this cover off. Let's see from this side as well. Okay, the clips on the front here are tricky. There we go. I want to make sure I don't lose the screws in there. Let's go ahead and turn it this way, and oh, there's one screw. Okay, I think that's all that was in there, so there's one loose screw. Okay, work our way along the front here, and then the middle's what's kind of stuck, so we might have to kind of wiggle it like this to pull it. Let's see. Doesn't want to come out in the middle here. Jeez, what is going on? Are there some hidden screws? Okay, just so you know. Okay, some more clips. There we go. There we go. Okay. So So I think we got all of it now. Let's go ahead and lift this out. And there we go. There's the inside of the computer. Okay. Set the cover aside. It is a little bit dusty, so I'm going to dust that off. Oh shoot, it looks like a lot of screws are missing here. Okay, there's another one that's just rolling around up here. I don't know how I'll get that out, but let's see. I gotta kind of pull this forward. How do I get that out? It's stuck in there. Let's lift the hinge up, I guess. So I'm gonna get under the hinge and kind of pull that up. There we go. Can get the screw out that way. We need to move the cable. There we go. Okay, so these two screws are actually different from each other. So I feel like there's one more screw that's missing in here, but where is it? Oh, here it is. There we go. 3 screws. Okay, so we'll close this back down. Okay, make sure you don't damage that cable. And it looks like we got 2 screws that are here. So if you look at this one, you can see how it's designed. The screws are the same way. I'm going to make sure these screws were loose too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some thread locker here to make sure they don't come out, because we don't want these hinges to break just because they're coming loose. So I'm going to add a little bit of thread locker to the tip of these screws here. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, just a little bit, just so the screw doesn't twist itself out from vibration or from the constant opening and closing of the laptop. This one's also loose, so we'll also add some here. All right, there we go. And we got the other 3 screws here, same thing. Alright, I'm not going to be unplugging cables here, but I'll kind of just describe what's going on. But I'll clean the dust first before we get to that point, okay? That screw. Alright, and the last screw here. The design of these hinges on these modern laptops are pretty bad. They don't have much leverage, so the screws are usually getting yanked out. Okay. Alright, let me clean this up and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Alright, so I'm back. As you can see, it's all cleaned up now. So let's go ahead and take a look, or a closer look at some components in here. Alright, so we got 2 slots for RAM underneath this stuff. I don't know if the labels for the RAM will be readable, so let's go ahead and pop one out. They also have this. Oh my god, why is there so much stuff on top of it? We also have this on top. So let's go ahead and pull the 2 tabs that we have to get underneath here to get to, and pull them to the side. When you pull those to the side, this pops up. And is the RAM stuck in there because of that? It seems like it is. So it's kind of held in with adhesive. And there's no label here for me to know, but this does look like DDR5 RAM. Okay, how am I going to put this back now? I'm going to have to carefully peel this up, I guess. Okay. Alright, so it peeled away kind of. There's, oh my god. I hate when companies put adhesive and stuff like this on their devices. Maybe this is why it's having some problems. Okay. Oh, god. Okay, well, let's peel this all the way up, I guess. Look at this. What the heck? The RAM is stuck to this thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I know somebody's going to be like, you touched the pins, you touched the pin. Don't worry about it. Okay? Just make sure you don't have like 2 gross hands when you get this. Alright, so it goes back in at an angle, and then you wiggle it and stick it back down. We're going to pull this one out as well, just in case, since the adhesive pulled it up. And we can't check what kind of RAM this is. But again, I'm pretty sure it's DDR5 RAM. So I don't know if I have any DDR5 RAM to check it with. Here's what DDR4, actually, here's what DDR4 RAM looks like. So maybe I can see here. Oh, actually, is it DDR4? Okay, so this is actually PC4, DDR4 RAM. You should be okay to use any DDR4 RAM inside here. So yeah, anyways, we're going to go ahead and put this back in. I don't think I have any DDR5 RAM here to kind of show a comparison of. No, I don't. Sadly. Actually, is this? No, that's also DDR4. Nope, I don't have any DDR5 RAM to show. Is this DDR5? Oh, here we go. I have some DDR5 RAM to show the difference, because some people ask, but no, you're not able to just swap around the RAM. Okay, so if it's DDR5, you can't put DDR4 RAM. If it's DDR4, you can't put DDR5. That's the main difference. Okay, so this is DDR5 RAM and this is DDR4. So if you look at how the pins line up, you see how it's off like that. And if you're thinking, oh, just flip it over, okay, here you go. No. So DDR5 RAM, the notch is pretty much in the middle, okay? And DDR4 RAM, it's slightly off to the side. DDR3, like the notch just moves more and more over this way, so you have more like a bigger side here and then a skinnier side there. All right. So anyways, there you go. Put that back in at an angle. I like to wiggle it as I push it in and then click it down. Okay, we'll stick this back on top. What else do I want to show here? There's not too much to look at, but I'll tell you the connectors. There's the LCD LVDS connector. If you're going to mess with this, you want to disconnect the battery first. Battery disconnects, you see this silver tab, you need to slide that back. Once you slide that back, you can go ahead and pop this connector out. I have other videos showing that, so I'm not going to do that here. Make sure to slide that silver thing back over the connector when you're done. All right, anyways, LCD LVDS connector here. This one I believe is a fan connector, and then the other fan connector is over here underneath this plastic here. Okay, keyboard connector is right there. I'm pretty sure this is the trackpad connector. Also, this battery cable, it looks like you can actually wiggle and pull that out. Speaker connector is right here, and then there's a cable that runs from this speaker. Oh wait, is there? Oh wait, it runs, where does it run from? Underneath. I see the connector for this speaker here, so it runs along here. Looks like it goes under the motherboard, logic board. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, wireless antennas. Oops, let me zoom out a little bit so I can make sure I'm showing everything. Wireless antenna here, wire running along over here, other wireless antenna here. They go up, and then they're underneath this adhesive. Oh my god, so much adhesive here. There's an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here. Also more adhesive holding this down. It's a very annoying design. One screw. Once you remove that screw, you can pull it up slightly and pull it out. Although this cable is on top, so that's also going to be in the way. This looks like the keyboard backlight cable, the brownish orangey one. And then this cable connects the USB port over here. And yeah, it looks like there might be something else here. Is this a reset button hole? No, there's nothing here. There's no reset button for this. It doesn't look like. I don't know what that is. Is that an LED? I don't see anything through the side of the cover, so I don't know why they have this little foam thing here, which kind of looks like an LED, but no, I don't know what that is. All right, anyways, you got the CPU here, GPU here, with the little heat sinks for the GPU memory and stuff. They're soldered to the board. You can't remove them. There's a little connector here, which I'm assuming is for the power button. Let me see if I open this in. I don't know if that's for the power button or not, but it's right over the middle because the power button's actually more over here. It doesn't say, there's no thing for it. So I see something that says LED there, but I don't know. Anyways, I think that's about it for me to show here without taking more things out. So yeah, okay, yeah, that is for the touchpad. Oh, battery model number is right there. It's C41N, 2013-1, C41N2013-1. That's the battery model number. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and put this thing back together. Sorry, I know this was really just a quick look just to see what's inside, because my main reason for opening it was because the screws were rolling around in there, and I didn't want those to cause problems, which they might have actually caused some problems because the customer was having some issues with it crashing for a while. I had to reinstall the OS. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the screws back in, and we'll see. I was seeing like random graphical glitches, which I don't know if it was caused by the screws, but hopefully now that the screws are in properly, it will not have any issues in the future, because this was kind of extra work that I was not expecting until I picked it up and heard some rattling. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Oh, why is this screw not going? Alright, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos. I don't even know what I said now. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel, all that hoo-ha. And then, yeah, I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More, where I put my review videos. I do put them on this channel as well, so keep that in mind. Actually, now looking at the bottom cover, I'm wondering if the longer screws are supposed to go here, actually. Let me see if that's even going to be possible to move it over, because the groove for here is deeper, and I'm assuming these are supposed to help hold the hinges. And I also saw the little warranty sticker for the battery moved or damaged, so I'm wondering if the customer opened this before and did something with it. Let me see if this longer screw will fit in that hole, but I don't know if I'll be able to get this screw back out now because it's wanting to be stuck there. I don't know. Let me see if I can get it out. I don't know. It's going to be tricky now. Okay. I mean, you'll have to check yours. That's the reason why I always like to keep the screws in order, because if you mix them up, then you won't know, and then you can damage your computer trying to put it back together. So we'll find out. Shoot, am I going to even be able to lift this back up? Let's see, will I be able to get that screw out? It's stuck in there. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and click that all back in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, does this... Oh yeah, that definitely works way better. Actually, no. Okay, it seems the screw mount underneath is what's damaged. So I'm going to have to take that out and fix that as well, because otherwise the hinge is going to end up breaking itself. So I don't know. Let's see, this one, okay, no, if I put this here, it sticks out a lot further, so I think the long ones actually do go there, okay, towards the center. So again, don't mix them up because you don't want to destroy your computer putting the wrong screws in the wrong place. I'm going to open this back up now, and it looks like I'm going to have to do some additional repairs that I was not expecting. Okay, well, we'll see. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to undo this again. But, yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and pop this back open. I'm gonna probably be late now because I was not expecting to have to do this. But I want to make sure the computer's fixed properly, that it won't have issues in the future. Now that I kind of know how to open it, it's a little bit easier here. Oops, I click it all back down. Okay. Let's see if I can even fix that. So basically the screw mount there is just spinning around on its own. So let's see, I'm probably gonna have to put more thread locker there. Alright, let's see, can I lift this back up? Oh, I don't know if I can even access that. But basically the plastic around there is what's broken. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can put a little bit of JB Weld in that hole there, and that will hopefully keep this screw from spinning around, or the screw mount from spinning around. All right, that's important because if it keeps spinning around, then the screw is not going to be able to hold. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna use some JB Weld here. So go off to the side. We only need a tiny bit. My worry is I don't know how I'm going to stick that screw back down. I guess we'll find out. Okay. I'm using just a tiny bit. Even that's probably too much that I took out. Together. All right, so basically we're going to try and get this stuff in that gap there. Oops, sorry, you can't even see what I'm doing. All right, we're just going to get the JB Weld in there. The problem is I don't have time to let this set, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can get it screwed up. I don't have time to let it set because the customer's picking it up today now. So, all right, we'll do that. And we're just gonna bloop it into there. It will set over time on its own, and then I'll probably have to ask the customer to make sure to tighten the screw up later. There's a little hair. Let's take that out. Good. All right. There we go. So that should be good, hopefully. The only thing is, we'll see. I don't know how I'm gonna put the screw in, because normally what I would do is I would tighten a shorter screw here, let it set overnight, or at least a few hours, and then screw it in, but let's see. Okay, I'm gonna probably have to pull the case up while I screw it in, so the friction of the pulling force will help to keep the brass piece from spinning around. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put some more thread locker on here again. If not, hopefully these two screws will be strong enough. I'm surprised it wasn't falling apart before, but that explains why these two screws completely came out, and the other one as well. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and put this thing back together. All right. This time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with that back corner one. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this one as well. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked down the things here, because basically I'm gonna have to like pull this casing upwards so that it will cause some friction against that metal piece that's bent over the brass, and hopefully that will. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm pulling on this, and yeah, it's working. It's pulling it down, kind of. Oh, not completely. Okay, well, that's about as good as we'll get it, I guess. The customer will probably have to tighten up the screw later. If not, I mean, I could always do it afterwards, but it's gonna have to sit there a few hours. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get the rest of the screws in. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well. Again, I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but zoomed in. If you could subscribe to that one, that'll really help me out. I need to get that one to 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, not really much else. You're welcome to stay as I get all the rest of these screws in. I'm going to go ahead and power it up just to make sure everything turns on again properly. But other than that, that's all there is to this. Okay, let's go ahead and get the last screw in. I might have to plug in the charger because, well, actually I didn't disconnect the battery, so I shouldn't have to, but let's go ahead and see what happens. All right, push the power button. Nope, nothing. Interesting. What happened? I didn't unplug it. All right, let me go get the charger and I'll be back. All right, back. Let's plug in the charger and hope it works, because otherwise I'm gonna have to take it apart again. Okay, that orange light's coming on and the power button worked. You can see how it's doing its thing. Okay. I don't know what caused it to go into that, unless the battery was drained all the way. But, okay, you can see the ASUS logo's on. Okay, and it's starting up, so we should be good. Let me make sure it shows the battery icon in the bottom right corner. Oh, okay, no thanks. Microsoft, stop trying to force me to do whatever. Okay, and it's showing 99% available plugged in. And it's staying on while it's unplugged. So I don't know what was causing it to not want to turn back on. That's weird. Did it know? Does it have a thing that detects that I disconnected the battery? I mean, I didn't disconnect the battery. Does it have a thing that knows I opened the case? Is that what that little sensor thing is in that little square? Possibly. Maybe it's a light sensor or something that it detects. It can see light and then it disconnects something. But there you go. All right, we got that all back together. Again, the JB weld will have to set, and then hopefully that screw will then tighten okay. All right, so that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this spike.